It is my pleasure to show off Age of Rome. This is the actual final product. I unboxed a prototype a long time ago and it had some super interesting components. I'm excited to see what the final version looks like. This is by Teetotum Game Studios and I'm super pumped to see this because it's going to be super unique. Alright, so the package I got anyway came with this, plus it looks like some extra boards. I think there's still others in there, but we'll see. Either way, these are like the really nice dual layer boards, so we're just going to actually dive into that right away, just because it's on top, and it's kind of loose. Now, hopefully I can fit this back in the box once everything's unpacked, so we'll see, of course. I can say right now, this is actually quite good. Like, these edges here are actually kind of sharp. I mean, they are like edges, pretty hardcore there, I would say. Hopefully it doesn't seem to flake or anything like that. Now it almost looked like to me that this was bent here and here, but it's not. It's just this like marbling, and so there's a little bit of like the color from this little marbling there and there, and it makes it look like that, which is kind of an interesting thing. I see, same here. It almost like it was more bent in here than here. But again, it's just that faint gray there. So don't let that fool you. Easy to do, I suppose. Let's see. It looks like, and this is pretty rare, pretty darn rare. This looks centered. That's very hard to do, apparently, because a lot of companies fail to actually center this. But this looks perfectly centered on a circle, nonetheless. That is impressive. It really, really is. Now, what's interesting here is that the cards. There's no groove in here for the cards, right? And so there's a groove here for this and for these, but then this is, flat, and then this is flat or flush with this. I'm not exactly sure why. I'd have to, look up the rules and see what's, appropriate versus not there. But it's kind of interesting when I see some things are not and some things are. On what exactly are you putting in there? Either way, very impressed to see the centering. It looks like all of them are like that. That's actually really good. Like, that is, seriously, that is not a test that most games seem to pass for me. I can normally be like, I feel like this is a little to the left and to the right. And you'd be surprised how many times, read almost always, that's the case. Yeah, no, this looks good. Even the centering. I thought maybe this was off, like a little bit higher up, but it's just a shadow. If you put it, there's enough space on both sides like that. Yeah, no, that's cool. That's really impressive. Like, really, really impressive. I think the only other thing I would probably say, again, this is me being super nitpicky here, is I noticed a little darkness right here, and that's because everybody else, their hair is not cut off, not at the edge. There's a little bit of white above them. See, above that one, 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 not above him. Now, it does look like they are actually different heights, which is kind of interesting. So maybe he's just super tall, because you'll see the spacing is actually different on quite a few, especially this one that seems much shorter than the others. So maybe it's a legit height thing. I'm not sure. Kind of interesting. Either way, I noticed it. It's different. Okay, so this box is super heavy. I can tell you that right away. I love the coloration on this. This is a very nice and attractive looking box to me. I like the idea of the silhouette being, like the world and all that. But I just really like the marbling. I think that's a great idea. I love the gold on top of that. It just makes it seem nice and premium. But on top of that, this like splash of green and blue coloring specifically, very, very cool. I like that a lot. I think that looks really, really nice. On the side, they have all the like created by and illustrated and stuff like that. They have it down here too, and then Teetotum Games up there. And then on the back, oh my goodness gracious, they failed the other test. They put the lid, like, that's right set up, that's not. Oh, it kills me every time. Okay, that's fine. I would say this looks to be a bit of a retail style box. And what I mean by that is, in retail, not everybody might know what the Age of Rome is, right? They didn't read the campaign or anything like that. So they're going to pick it up. They're going to, oh, that's really heavy. And they're going to turn around and they're going to learn about it that way. Is the idea. I don't know if people actually buy games like that. I always do my research. Every time I've bought in a game at retail, I've already seen reviews. I've already seen a whole lot of opinions and probably even unboxings. Like, I do my research. So I don't Like this may as well be blank for me. It doesn't actually matter. So I don't. What's your thoughts on the back of a box? I always call this the retail because I think that's the idea. Is it tells you a little bit about the game if you didn't know what it is. But honestly, if I don't know what it is, generally speaking, I'm gonna go online and go look, not necessarily read the back of a super heavy box anyway. Now that I know that's like that, this should be like that. That's how it should be. Okay. All right, so what do we got here? First of all, quite flush. Now this is with this tray, so I don't know how many trays there are. We'll see if it's super flush. Sometimes they ship really flush, but then when you take all this stuff out, it's like, you know, there's a whole bunch of space, but it should be all right. Again, loving the splash of color with the white. I think that's great. This is Cassius Attack solo and co-op gameplay. This is the first thing you see. Hi, my name is Cassius. Hi, Cassius. Okay, so we got a little bit of what looks to be kind of a setup, and now none of this really makes a lot of sense to me because it's like in addition to the rule book. One thing I will say is the font here super duper small, and I feel like there's a lot of wasted space here, and so the font size probably could have been bigger. Look, this is small to me, and I'm in my lower 30s. I'm glad I can still keep saying that, but I know some of you dudes are a little old. And your eyes aren't necessarily what they should be, and you don't have all this nice lighting on it and everything, and I don't know if you're going to be able to read that, to be honest. I think when even these like numbers here and stuff like this, and the symbols, look, these things are physical products, and I think we need to pay more attention to accessibility in board games. I've been tempted to make a video on that for quite a while, and it's because of stuff like this. There's no real need to make it that small. It probably looked good on the computer. It looks fine here to me, but I think we should design for a lower denominator than just me looking at this with my contacts and in good lighting, right? Like we should make this easily used by a variety of people that may not be in the same circumstances as me. My opinion on that. But otherwise, it looks like there's a lot of example stuff. That's pretty cool. Okay, we got tokens. Let's see if the tokens match the niceness of the dual layer boards. Let's do that. Boom. Oh, yeah. Oh, dang. Let's do that again. Boom. Oh, I love it. Boom. Oh, shoot. That flew off. That's way off the table. That's over there somewhere. Okay, we're not doing that anymore. Unless we do a reverse. Oh, look. Oh, man, that would have been so cool. Let's do a reverse punch. Much harder. Oop. It stayed on the table. Okay. Yeah, so not bad at all. I'm seeing 1.5 tags really. So there's a tag here. This is probably the main one here. And what that is it doesn't quite line up, right? So it'll go and then it'll kind of like end deeper or not as deep or whatever, right? And that little ledge difference is the tag there. This one right here is not, I don't believe, a depth difference. It's a I cut here and then I cut here and there's a tiny gap in between. Typically, the ledge difference is more noticeable, my opinion. And I don't know why I'm saying ledge difference. I don't know if that makes sense to you guys or not. As you can see, it'll hang by that one more than this one, right? And so that's what that is. And that's what you'll see. Zoom in here, make sure you can see it okay. That's what you'll see mostly, is that right there, right? So this is slightly deeper than this. This is higher, this is lower. And that tiny bit of difference right there will typically catch, whatever you're sliding through or anything like that. Now it's really minimal here, but then this one, as you can see, fairly flush, and it just didn't quite cut all the way through. And that's on purpose, so that they don't like fall out. Even then they can sometimes kind of fall out, right? Like that's why it's a punch board, because it stays like this until you're ready to punch it out, and then it separates. And that's what kind of helps assist that. And it's not the easiest thing to kind of do. Like this started falling out, right? And as you can see, the tag is a lot less. So I mean, you can get it to where they just fall out all willy-nilly, but that's not necessarily what you want. But at the same time, nobody likes tags, so it's a balancing act, I guess is what I'm saying. I don't know why I'm putting these back in. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. Let's look at some of the layer lines on here. These are fairly squishy, so I kind of press on them to see how compressed it feels. There are some that are so glued and compressed together that they almost feel like wood. These are not necessarily that. So these do have some push, and you can see the layer lines as well, right? So, you know, you'll see these little lines where the various layers went. But I'm not really seeing any real fraying or anything like that. The linen finish is nice. I appreciate that. It's a good thickness, a good color, and again, looks fairly centered to me as well. So that's really cool. And again, purposely not circular. You know, it's like the old coins there, which is kind of cool. That being said, I like the fact that they're different colors, so you can tell them apart differently, more than just differently. Is that even whatever? More than just the number. But these look like coins, and these to me don't. Especially the blue. This doesn't look like a coin at all to me. I probably would have preferred a silver and a copper versus what looks to be almost a red, blue, yellow, or gold, right? Like this looks fine. I think I would have preferred silver and like a more orange, coppery kind of looked. My personal opinion, that's what I would have done, but you know, what the heck do I know? Yeah, these are pretty good. I think everything looks pretty centered. They have a nice, like, kind of dark to light, so that you can see this and the light around it really well. So I think that's good. Even stuff like this, it goes from like dark to light, which is kind of cool. So I dig that. Works for me. All right, there's that. We'll have to fish the other one out there. Got that one at least. Oh no, okay, it's rolled off again anyway. Whatever, I give up. Oh, look at this. Oh, how did this turn? I'm gonna have a panic attack is what I'm gonna have. There we go, okay. All right, so this tells you how to put it back together, kind of, sort of. You know, these are really nice, but I do always struggle. I'm glad this is included, don't get me wrong. I really am. But inferring what this is telling me, I always find it to be harder than it should be, if that makes sense. I think there are better ways to communicate it than having the picture with just the components there, then like I mean, it just, I'm sure this is fine. Don't get me wrong, but I've seen other games like The Witcher, Old World, and stuff like that where this was hard to follow, and I'm sure there are really nice ways to be able to do it. If nothing else, I think what would be great for a company to do is put a little QR code, and I scan that, and it takes me to a video they did of just packing up the box. Like just record yourself. It doesn't have to be a fancy video or anything like that. Just supply that for your backers and your customers. I think that'd be cool. All right, next up we finally have the game rules. Not the rule book, the game rules. On the back is just more info there. It looks like different info than what I saw before, but no like table of contents or, you know, iconography or anything like that. So here we do have a table of contents. Again, more info here. And then some nice stuff here, including we'd like to thank, oh, Michael, you're welcome. All right, let's take a look for an index. Now, Teetotum Games, they know me. They know I want an index, so they knew this was coming. Let's see if they pass the test. Okay, so far no, but that's okay, because we do have this like achievement stuff, which I think is actually kind of cool. I actually really like this. I think more games should include achievements. I think there's a lot of potential there for people to try playing the game in different ways. You know, like only win doing this or doing that. Or I think there's a lot of potential there to add longevity to a game, add some fun to a game, and try new things in interesting ways that you can kind of like push them to do for. Scan this QR. So they do have QR codes for 3-minute how to play video. That's cool. I dig that. That's awesome. And then, oh no, I'm not seeing an index, guys. Well, I know they knew this was coming, so that is what it is. Yep, okay. So, the reason I look for an index is because this is a technical manual, right? This is something that is describing in very specific details how something works. And it is going to be referenced, even after read, for pretty much any game worth anything, right? And so, you're in your first game, oh, I have a question about that. You need to find it. Now, you can look at a table of contents, but that follows headers specifically. So it follows specifically like the various headers and stuff like that, like feud and stuff like that, I would imagine. Or setup here would be set up there, right? And so they do that kind of, here's milestones and ties and all that. And that should be milestone and ties right there, right? and they'll list the one page that header is on. What it does not say is concept or the fact that milestones might be mentioned in building tiles on page 15, but I don't know that looking at this. An index would show that. Additionally, this is not alphabetized, so you kind of have to find, action phase is right here in the middle instead of right up high because it starts with A, right? Indexes, super useful, super good. Every technical document should have one like this, especially one that's supposed to be really used and referenced. The very first few games I play with any game are the most important ones. They are what determine if it gets played again and again off my game shelf. And if the first experience is me fumbling with a rulebook and unable to find what I'm looking for, it's that much more likely that's not going to happen. An index helps you save that. It can save your game. It can make or break a game. And that's not fair to the game, but it's just practicality. It's how it works. So it looks like at the first part here, it's kind of weird. So we start with like what looks to be mostly fluff. I'm assuming this isn't fluff, but this seems like a lot of fluff here, which, I mean, it's fine, but I wouldn't necessarily go with that as the first thing. Normally you do like a component thing, which now is, page 6, but whatever. And then this is like a poem? That's interesting. There's a lot of fluff in here, which, I'm glad they like it, but okay, they do have a setup. They do have it all like numbered and laid out here and stuff like that, so that's super nice. I'm seeing a lot of, hey, this, and then in parentheses, that's the symbol for it, which is kind of cool, and I imagine it matches the iconography back here, which is cool. There are a lot of icons, by the way, so dang. And the problem is, from my distance right now, I barely see a difference of whatever that yellow bit in. I don't even know what it is, so I'm gonna have to lean closer to see. Oh, you probably have it in like reflection. Okay, so I'm looking at these right here. Not only there are a lot, right, but a lot of them don't look very different to me. Like, I'm looking at these two right here, and from a distance, they look pretty much the same. So looking closer, it looks like, I don't know what's that. Is that a lion, and is that a frog, and is that like a bull? If nothing else, that's leaning that way, and that, I don't know, look, the art of creating icons is definitely an art that a graphic designer can be good at, cannot be good at. It's very, it's a science all of its own, and not one I'm an expert in. I will say that I think this red on black and blue on black don't show up well. That's like kind of dark on dark. Typically with red, you're going to want white like this. You see how much more noticeable? These are so small, even on the screen. Dear Lord. See how more noticeable that is versus that, right? That's the difference between the white and the black. The black it's like an off black. It's like a grayish, which is kind of weird because that one seems darker and then that one seems lighter again. But maybe that's just darker because it's on the purple. I don't know. Anyway, I know I'm nitpicking, but that's what I do, guys. Okay, I do like the call-out boxes. Those are nice. Call-out boxes are always cool. And the little lines here, I don't know what's going on there. Like those, oh, okay. So those are the colored money that's like blue and red and junk. And that's the money there. So that's what it's showing there. That's fine, I guess. I do like the call-out boxes, though. It looks like there are plenty of, numbered stuff and bold, and at least the headers are different. It looks like there's a little bit of like hey, here's a bit of information here. I don't know if that's optional text or not. I'd have to kind of look to see. Again, I think there's a lot of empty space here, and dear Lord, is this small text. What's going on here? Okay, I know, again, reflection. I get it. I'm sorry. But as you can see here, it goes from already, in my opinion, fairly small text. That's kind of really thin line and stuff like that, right? Just like the font style used. And I feel like there's a lot of empty white space, quote unquote white space, right? That this could have been expanded and enlarged, and you could have just trimmed the margin a little bit. But then I saw this, and dear Lord, is that small freaking text. There's going to be people that are going to struggle with this. I guarantee it. That needs to be higher. Yeah, that's too tiny. That is too, dear Lord, it's like all over. Look how tiny this is. Now it's all like grayed out and chunk. That is, okay, yeah, I'm not a fan. Look how much space is here. Like, they didn't even know what to do, so let's just throw like a dagger in there or a sword or whatever. And even then, there's so much space around it, and then the text is teeny. This is like 6-point font or some junk. Yeah. Anyway, okay, so could be improved. All right, next up, we have an advertisement for the next game. I always support this. I think that's great. It's a good thing to do it. This is Restart, arriving in the near past. Which is a great little thing. And then again, it's reversed as well. You guys can read about this, and obviously I'll tell you guys more about it as it gets closer. It sounds like a cool idea to me. I think that's neat. I dig that. All right, now we have another token thing. Looks to be about the same. This is nice. Look at this. Very nice. So this is pretty flush. So if those token trays go away, right, I feel like you're still doing pretty good here. That would be like this, and then you have that as well. And that seems pretty flush to me. This, by the way, seems like it's slightly too big, which is kind of funny. Okay. But, again, I would love to be able to put these in there too. So we'll see. We'll see. Either way, that's super nice. I love that. And the black looks so good. So, ooh, look at all that. Okay. I think this is the game board. Let's see how this folds out. See how flat it goes. It's pretty thick. There we are. Fun. Okay, so let me zoom out teensy bit. Okay, there you go. All right. Again, love the look of it. I think that looks great. It looks like it's probably going to be fairly round here. Again, this is a little small, but it's okay. That's fine, I suppose. Otherwise, everything else I think looks good. I do dig that. It probably needs to have a little bit of a extra fold there to go super flat, but that looks good. Even the seams, really, really minimal. Like, it's hard to see that at all. Like, nice, very good. All the lines continue very well. Looks great. Nice and thick. I dig that too. Yeah, looks good. Looks good. I like it. Okay, so we got some fun stuff here, and a lot of it. Let's go and start with these just to see the other art pieces. And again, I don't know if those other ones will fit in here at the end or not. I'm suspecting not at this point, but it'd be nice if I could fit it in there. Okay, so these are different. That's kind of interesting. That's cool. So again, I'm looking at the height difference more than anything here. Wait, hello? Why did I get extra ones? I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, these are the same. Okay, well, whatever. They're in a different order too, which is kind of funny. All right, we got some sleeves, so that's fun. I know a lot of you guys like to sleeve, so that's good. Got a big ol' honkin' wooden piece here that I suspect goes in the middle of the map there. This is always kind of interesting. I know a lot of people like this. I'm not a fan of the wood used here. Again, I know it's very popular, but in my opinion, it's too light. And I think premium goes with feel. A lot of times you buy like a cheap mouse and an expensive mouse, and the only difference is they added weights into the expensive mouse. That is like we as human beings, for whatever reason, put a lot of value in that. It's like the Jurassic Park thing on the are they heavy to the goggles? Yeah, well then they're expensive. Put them away, right? Like that's the idea. And so when you get this kind of stuff, it almost feels like air. It almost feels like I'm holding like nothing. I don't know what kind of wood do they use here. I don't know. Also, it's typically pretty soft, and so often I feel, and as though I'm not actually marking that too much. Probably help if I had nails. Yeah, a little bit of mark. Anyway, I feel like often it'll show scuff marks fairly easily. That being said, painted all around looks good. This right here, again, very shiny, but otherwise okay. Yeah, it's nice enough. All right, then we got some like little bars and trays and stuff here. So this is, whatever this is. Very cool. They are different. Are they? Yes. Because Some are flat on one end, and or flat on both ends. One's flat on only one end. But anyway, we got some stuff. All the colors look good. I dig it. I think that's fine. I like the metallic ones. Those are cool. There we go. It looks like the metallic ones are like that and the other ones are not. Interesting. Again, I don't know what they are here, but it's all painted up good. I like it. Get back in. Come on. Get back in there. There we go. Okay. We got some smaller wooden things here. Oh, let me zoom back in now. You guys are like way far away. You guys are squinting at your screens right now. What the heck is he looking at? Looking at these little things. Okay, so already I can tell you that while they're cool, I do wish that they were printed on both sides because now I feel like I have to flip them all over. Additionally, these are perhaps a little too skinny. When they're really skinny, sometimes it can be hard to grip them, if that makes sense. So I would have preferred it printed on both sides, just so I don't have to flip them all over or have some that are just like black. And perhaps that's maybe slightly too thin. It can be hard to pick up. I'm okay with it. I think there's still enough there. But, you know, there are people with really stubby fingers and no hate against them or anything. It's just depending on your finger shape, that can be difficult. It just kind of depends, you know. And really skinny tokens sometimes can cause issues. So if you can make it a little bit thicker, you know, ideally you can. All right, looks like we got some more stuff here. These, again, are in that like metallic paint, which is kind of cool. So I dig that. Oh, come on. Oh, okay. What the heck? There we go. All right. I have noticed that the bags have not been inflated. However, they also don't have that hole to do that, so they could hold air if you wanted to. I like this. This is kind of fun. Again, I actually really like this kind of metallic paint, the like shiny paint. I think that looks really cool. I think it looks really nice. Yeah, I think it's fine. I can see this okay. It's not the most high contrast, especially in the shine on some of these lighter colors. Like I think the blue and the green get to a reflective point to where it is kind of hard to see the design on it. Though they are, I mean, it's still obvious, I think, what color you're looking at. And to me, at least, again, being slightly colorblind, so sometimes I worry it has to do with that. But the green on the gold look a little close to me compared to the blue and the red, which seem to stand out from the gold itself more. Just my personal opinion. So something to be careful about. I would have liked perhaps a little bit stronger of a paint color on those, but that might just be me though, and that's maybe not what they were going for. Either way, I can see them all. Just noting a point. If you're designing a game, you know, you just want to make sure to think about these things. Okay, we got like a sweet freaking bag here. Oh, this is. I will no longer complain about any of this stuff. This feels great. This is so heavy. Again, the weight matters. Like I just want to drop this and be like, I've paid. You know, like here's your payment. You know, for like a murder or something. Oh, that is cool. Big old sack of coins. Oh yeah. Oh, okay. They went with some. This is okay. Hold on. Well, let's do the big ones first. Oh, these are different bags. I wonder why they're different bags. These have a much smaller like top to them. There we go. Oh man, those are so cool. Oh. These are incredible. These are awesome. These are. I love the like roughness of them. Now they're made in the same way as pretty much all the other kind of gold coins or you know metal coins you'll get, where they're like not the like you know like craziest metal, and often you will get a little bit of a line. There's a very very slight one. You can kind of see it there, right? Kind of see it there. They added this wash to it and then like kind of rubbed it off. Often they'll do it with like a Q-tip or whatever. And it does a really good job of weathering something, of adding some contrast, of making it look nice. All of those little details in the face are visible because of that wash, and that's super, super important. Though sometimes it will also define that line. Now, the line here doesn't look very big, so that's good. So especially from a distance, they look great. Yeah, this is awesome. I love these. These are cool. Very, very cool. That's great. Again, I love the rough shape to them. All right, so that's the gold ones. Now these are the 5 ones that are blue in the token. And it looks to me like they went mostly silver, which is exactly what I thought they should do. I'm surprised the other ones are blue, because I think this looks better. Now this is kind of a bluish silver, I suppose, but I mean, you know, at the end of the day, I think the silver looks better. Oh, so fun, so fun. So again, same thing. I would say this is less roughed in than this when it comes to the shape. Like look how straight that is, right? And it's not necessarily always the best. Like you can see that where they rubbed the 5 and they didn't rub this top part at all. Again, you're getting a factory thing, so some will be more than others. It just kind of depends. Ideally, it's not that noticeable, right? Or you could see rub, okay, done, and they like skipped part of it. Ideally, it's more like that, where it's a little bit less obvious. There's still, I think, a little bit around the edge that they didn't get at all, but overall, quite happy with this. Yeah, these look cool. That being said, there is a skinny difference here, and I noticed that right away. Picking this up, a lot easier. Picking this up, not quite as easy, especially if you don't have you know, any fingernails to grab them from or anything like that. I can see people trying to do this and not being able to pick it up, right? Size matters, that's all I'm saying. Seriously though, when it comes to picking these up, ideally you have so many that it doesn't matter, right? Then we have these little guys here, which again, feel great. I think that's awesome. That's fun. Love the dark color in here. That's actually really cool. I'm assuming that's on purpose. So it's like really dark and then really light, and that's just fun. I like that. It's like it didn't get the rub treatment at all, hardly, which I think in this case works quite well. So yeah, that's super cool. I like that. Again, much rougher. This is probably the most round one compared to all these. This is almost like an octagon, which makes sense. It's, you know, it's just worth one. Who cares, right? So that's cool. I like the look of them. I think they look a lot different. I will say the contrast, this definitely has the least amount of contrast. I probably would have liked maybe a little bit of a heavier wash or a little bit more of a rub to make the actual numbers and stuff pop out. Like this, on that 10, there's hardly any on there, right? And then when you look at like this 5, I think there's still lots on there. And so that's kind of the difference there. It still looks good. And overall, those are awesome. And then you get this sweet bag to hold them all in. And yes, I'm just going to mix them up. I don't care. It's easy enough to unmix them. And it's cool to like look in there and see all the money, right? I think it is. That's the easiest to put in there. Yeah, it's not too bad to pick up, right? I think it's okay. No, except for these. And these are, again, pretty skinny. Pretty skinny. All right, almost done. Okay, there you go. There you go. All right. Throw that on the ground. And we'll try these bad boys out. Don't worry about it. Okay, so now we're left with this. We got a few more wooden blocks here. I'm not going to go in and take those out. They look fine. It's the same kind of printing as normal. Same kind of like, normally when these aren't painted, they're like almost a yellow color, right? That kind of wood. Let's see, we've got some trays here that have not been used yet. So that's to like store, I believe, this stuff, right? Something like that. The instruction thing had that. But either way, some clear plastic trays here. They look nice. And it looks like we got some white trays that I'm assuming these go to. Ho 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 ho! Like hello, like that, like so. Boom, boom. Love it. Cool. All right. Let's see. Then we got another expansion here. This is heavy. We'll do this in a bit, I think. That is heavy, though. Okay, we got something here. Something. Oh, we got a lot more of those here. Now, why the brown separate? I don't know. They're segregated or something like that, I guess. Come on. All right. These, okay, are just these. Now, one cool thing is these are dual layer. So this is higher than this, and that's super cool, right? So you can see that little bit of depth there. Very cool. So I think that's why they had them flipped like this, which makes a bit more sense now. Okay, there's that. Okay, love this. Give me lots of these. Again, this doesn't cost a whole lot. And again, it makes your game very playable. Don't just give me one, or don't give me none and have me like scan my own like you're like penny pinching over here. Like it seems cringe to me when companies do that. It's like, well, I don't know if I can spend the couple pennies per copy to put it. It's like, come on. This feels nice. So, pretty thin, right? Which is like, it is, right? It's very thin actually. All linen, but it's like, it's a really good material. I don't know exactly what material it is, but it doesn't seem to really bend or like crease too well. I mean, again, obviously you can fold anything you want in half, but this is nice. Like really, really good, I feel. And then it's still fine. Look at that. Not bad at all. Again, I will say this is small text. I would like to see that bigger. And I think, especially with the icons a little bit bigger, just because it can get a little dark as well. On the back, again, I think part of it's the font size, part of it's the font style. It's very, very skinny font. But it's good to have all that information there, at least, as long as you can read it. Looks like we have Cassius there, and then we have... Oh, this is like the solo co-op thing, I think. It looks like you get 4 kind of game helpers, which, again, dear Lord, are these things tiny. Look at the tiny little leaf. Can you even see that? Can you even see that's a leaf? Let me zoom in for you. That right there, my friends, is a leaf. Good luck seeing that on the table that far away. Like what are you going to do with that? My goodness. All right. There's that. Yeah, more trays. These trays seem nice. So, let's talk about these trays. First of all, it is like a lock, which is kind of cool. Now, I will say, getting these off I think are more difficult than they necessarily need to be. Just because there's not really a lot to grip. The lid goes almost all the way down to the bottom. And so, there we go. It's a little bit harder to get off, right? This one's a little bit better than this. I mean, that is like fairly flush, right? So this one is a little bit more, but even still, it's not... They're pretty low profile, but that does cause it to kind of be a little bit hard to grip. The locking mechanism here works really well. I think that's nice. So when this is loaded up with stuff, it should still work really well. I like it. Jeez. Okay, look at this. This is fun. Just like the storage here is so pretty. Even the white, like you don't get a lot of this. Like white, normally it's black. I dig the white. I think it's really cool. And they're pretty nice actually when it comes to thickness and all that. All right, so there's a lid here. Luckily this is rounded. So boom, look at that. Easy peasy, love it. That was awesome. That's great. That's great. Let me zoom out a little bit just so you can see kind of the whole thing here. Okay. So we got whatever the heck this junk is. Let's go and open it up and see if I can. Hello, there we go. Okay, this is the middle part here on the game board. Yes, Kelp, it's around game board. Calm down. That bad boy goes in there. Look at that. Look at that. Sweet. And then I believe you end up like holding that to be able to spin it, huh? Huh? Awesome. Love it. That's cool. Now you have all these spots here, and I think that's where the overlays come in. That I don't see. Hello? You would think they would like go in here. Oh, you know what? I bet. Hold on. Hold, please. That's why this is so heavy. But it's all these, I think they're acrylic. Ugh. I hate these kind of boxes. I really do. Tug boxes are the worst. Come on. See, this is no part of this is great. Okay, hold on. Somebody showed me a little trick. Oh, look at that. Look at that. That's what I want to do is have to get my like letter opener to be able to open a box every time I want to open it. Oh, okay. So these are super cool. They should have a the like painting in the back, and then I think they have a protective coating on there. Let's go and pop one out. Now, again, do you see like the bubbles there? I think that does come off. I'm not sure on what end. I think it's the top though. Let me see. How best to take this off? We're just gonna like scratch the front. Should I have oh, okay. There we go. Nice. So I think that's what it is. I don't think there's anything on the back. In fact, I can feel the like paint there. Now these go like that. Is that not cool? Look at that. Boom. Now that is like reflecting for you. So let me kind of angle this a little bit different. Just to do this stuff like sticks to you. Get off me. Okay, so what I want to do here is angle it. There you go. Do you see that? So that is pretty nifty. Boom. Now there's a little town there, right? Super cool. Looks like there's some, you know, like spinner stuff maybe or something like that. Let's go on and do one with like a bigger building or something. Let's go on and do... Oh, let's do a big yeah. So see, it goes like level 1, and then there's level 2, so and then level 3. Let's do a level 3. And again, you're gonna have to like take the peel off of all of this. Just note that it's on the front. Don't be scratching the back. Okay, so that's the difference between 1 and 2. So, or I guess 1 and 3. So as you can see. Like totally different things are happening with that by the looks of it, but it's cool visually as well. Now again, with the acrylic, right, you are gonna notice a little glare depending on your light source, but no, these look nice. Very thick, very clear. They look awesome. These are super cool, and I think more games should do stuff like that because that's really fun. Those are cool. All right, and then when you're done, I think you store them in, come on, stop sliding around. I think you store them in here, like so. And there's probably 1, 2, and 3. And actually, it's probably almost the other way around. I don't know. It seems like it gets thicker down here because it looks like it almost goes lower, but I think they're actually all the same. Either way, and then you put the lid on there. And then ideally, that's full, so they're not going up and down. But either way, they're not moving around. Very nice. Very nice. Love the storage. That's cool. All right, so move that over here. We'll leave that board there, though. Why not? We got a few other things. It looks like some spinner stuff. That's what these little pegs are for. But I don't know what this other piece is. What are you? What the heck is this? Does this represent a little, like, cheese or something? It's got like a frosted see-through, so you can see through it, but otherwise it's kind of frosted. Unless there's, oh. Is there a peel? Is that what this is? Or am I just messing it up? It looks like there might be a peel. So this is kind of a finicky thing, right? Like if you have to peel this, it's certainly not... the easiest done. All right, so I'm gonna peel it. I don't know if I'm supposed to or not, but boom, there you go. Looks like there's probably one on the other side too. And it's now all matte. Maybe I'm not supposed to do that. I almost feel bad doing that. I don't know. I'm gonna put it back on. I don't know if I can. There, perfect. It's perfect. I don't know what I'm doing. Let's put you back, and hopefully I didn't ruin you. Oh, come on. I mean, it's not that red. It's frosted versus not. Like, what the heck are they gonna do? Okay, some more little tokens here. Those are fun shaped. And again, we got the red, blue, and yellow and green on that. Got some more of those skinny tokens here. More little meeples. These are on both sides printed. I do appreciate that. It looks like these are printed on both sides as well. These little soldier people, so that's nice. Then we got 2 sets of cards here. And again, that white token tray, the white tray, which seems quite nice. Looks like that's where you put like your spinner and stuff. There's a little divot in there. That's cool. That's cool. All right, so we got some cards here. Let's go ahead and take a look at them and take a look at the sleeves while we're at it. All right. There's that. And, oh, oops. Premature rip. We've all been there, right, guys? There we, come on. There, okay. All right. Okay. Not the easiest open, but it's all right. Okay. Super skinny cards. These are what I call board game cards. And what I mean by that is it's way skinnier than any card game would ever produce their cards. I don't know why. I think it's because if a card game doesn't have a hand, then I think they're thinking it's okay. In other words, if you're not busy like holding the cards and bending them, if you're just laying them down, then they should be fine. I don't know if I subscribe to that or not, just because when people pick them up, just like I did, they'll bend them, and that can start showing real quick, right? When you're trying to when you're trying to keep things nice. So those sleeves might be required. For now, though, let's go ahead and take a look. Love the lighting. That's super fun. I think dark blue on a bluish silver doesn't show up very well. So that could have a little bit more contrast, I feel. The red, for the most part, is good. I think red and kind of this like purplish, again, kind of blends in a little bit. Skinny bow is skinny bow. Again, kind of hard to see when it's like a reddish brown as well. That pops, obviously. That looks great. Until they put somebody in like a yellow robe, which I feel is going to happen. The green looks fine as well. Why is there red and brown there? Did I mess something up? Probably. That's fine. Yeah, those look cool. Again, just really skinny. Okay. Now, these are just anchors. Okay. Different stuff here. And I don't know what this stuff is yet, so that looks fun. I do like that. That looks good. Yeah, these are cool. I like all the clutter around it and stuff like that. That's actually really nice. That looks great. Okay. Now here we got some like kind of cartoon art by the looks of it. That looks pretty nice. I like this. See, that's what I'm talking about. Just dump the money. Love it. Yeah, these look great. That's a little dark. Like, these look really nice, and they're all unique, too. Love this art. And then back on here. So this would mostly be right there. Okay, so let's go ahead and take one. Let's go ahead and take one like this that has some writing on it. Let's take a look at these sleeves. Okay, so fairly skinny. They separate easily. The name of science, I'm gonna pull at it. Maybe. Oh, and split right down there. So, what that tells me is they're kind of cheap. So that'll still work fine. It's okay, but yeah, just know when you're opening that definitely might happen. These are not like the most super expensive premium stuff ever, which is fine. Now, if you don't do that like an idiot and you just try and open it up, hello, there you are, put it in there, just fine. Now, with the sleeve, it looks like it's still red just fine. They are pretty glary, but that's all right too. It just means that they're clear. It feels a lot better as a card. Again, I don't know how often you're shuffling or anything like that. Obviously, the sleeves can help with that. And that will add some space, but I'm assuming that there's enough here for it. Yeah, so see all the extra space on here? I think that's for sleeves. And if we put that in there, the sleeves fit just fine. As far as I can tell, they support sleeves, which is great because if you sell the sleeves, you should support the sleeves. That's my opinion on that anyway. Again, I don't know where all this stuff goes, but guys, I think that's everything. I think that's it. I think that's it, guys. These things, super duper cool. Love them. Love them. Let me know what your thoughts are on this. I think, as far as I can tell, the storage in this looks pretty darn great, which is awesome to see. There are a lot of like loose bags and stuff like that, but I think they fit in there just fine. And again, I don't know exactly what all these token spots are for and what's going to go there. I think that's where the little arrow goes. But they tend to have little grippy things to be able to grab things by the looks of it. Looks nice. All right, that's it. That's Age of Rome. Again, this is by Teetotum Games, Teetotum Game Studio. And I know they're doing that return game next year, so I will, of course, cover that. Stay tuned for that. If you are not subscribed, please consider doing so. Helps you see great content more regularly. If you think my content is great, that is. Which, if you don't, then obviously don't subscribe, I suppose. I do what I can, though. I do what I can. Guys, have a great rest of your day. Take care. Bye, guys.